Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon. My name is Rosmalia Ditenugraheni. I'm with my co-author named Dia Ayustiorini, Sulistya, Beldan, Suherman, and Nadia would like to present you about the result of our study entitled Physical and Combustion Properties of Solid Fuel Briquettes Made of Plastic Waste as Green Energy Alternative. To begin with I will start my presentation by showing you about the outline of my study. It consists of the introduction, materials and methods, results and discussion, and will be wrapped with the conclusion. I will emphasize the study in making the briquette, especially that haven't utilized the waste from the plastic, sodas, and paper. So this is the introduction of my study, where the increasing population in Indonesia that has grown significantly in line with the industrialization. This brings benefit to the industry manufacturer by scaling up the technologies and escalate the profits. Moreover, industry manufacture in Indonesia present as the most striking sector nowadays. In contrast, the industry manufacturer has also generated plastic products which are difficult to decompose. Plastic waste in Indonesia has a significant problem which causes multiple environmental and economic issues. As the industrialization in Indonesia outperforms the Southeast Asia peers, the waste production has also surpassed other countries. Overall, the waste consists of 60% of the organic waste, 14% of plastic, 9% of paper, 7% of wood, and many more. The garbage were disposed collectively on landfills that are typically has a close proximity to the communities or society. This will lead into the toxic wastewater seeping into the nearby farmland and residential. The next one, the wastewater seeps also flows into the river and will end up in the ocean. And this will absolutely impacting the livelihoods of those who depend on the river's water or in the ocean. One of the striking cases that has been happened in the tourist destination like Bali also alarmed the tourist industry, a huge boon for Indonesia's economy. There is concern about the potential impact of this excessive pollution on tourism, the threatening effect of plastic waste, and the plastic also contaminates the water drainage system and exacerbates the groundwater quality. To minimize the environmental degradation while supporting diversification program of energy, recycle of plastic and organic waste should be performed. Solid briquette is used to produce heat for combustion fuels, particularly for household cooking. The aim of this study is to recycle massive plastic waste to form a solid briquette with certain physical and combustion properties. Well, in this part, I'm going to tell you about the materials and method where I'm going to use three main ingredients for making the solid briquette. They are plastic, sodas, and paper. The plastic were collected from the truss of orchid polybag which made from low-density polyethylene. Afterwards, the dried plastic were picked using tweezers, burned, and placed above and placed on a big bowl of water. The burning plastic will drip down into the bowl like small chips. So this is how the plastic burned. But then at the end, we will receive something like this, like a microchip of the like a microplastic. Okay. The next one, I'm going to tell you about how to make the paper as one of the ingredients. So the paper should be transformed into a pulp using water. First, you just need to shred or turn paper into small pieces, but then you have to weight the paper and load the paper into the paper pulp and then dried under the sun for 7 days. While the third ingredient is sawdust, but we don't need to sweeten the sawdust as it has been dried already, and we only need to combine these 3 ingredients into one. All ingredients used to make solid briquette were molded within a plastic flap using a binding agent. The binding agent of this used in the study is starch, and this used to strengthen the physical structure. Before we set the mixture composition for a solid briquette, all ingredients were weighed accordingly, and the ratio ingredients should be determined. The mixture composition were then placed into a mold and pressed using a hammer to make it more compact. As the briquette still contains moisture, it should be re-dried under the sun for another week or baked using an oven at a temperature of more than 100 Celsius degree for 22 hours. Some features used to identify the physical properties includes the density, the presence of cracks, and compressive strength. The greater the ratio composition of sawdust or pepper in the mixture ingredient, the compressive strength will be getting higher. The ductility also suggests that the materials are more flexible and not that fragile. The plastic ingredient tends to increase the density value, while pepper and sawdust tend to reduce the density. So this is the ingredient for sawdust and pepper from this from this column to this column. The value of compressive strength is not affected by the cohesivity of the main materials and binding agents. Well, as you can see in this figure, the additional physical properties that have an ability to determine the combustion properties are the moisture. So in this part, I'm going to show you how to combine the physical and the combustion properties of the handmade briquette. For the combustion properties, there are additional parameters that have been analyzed, such as the moisture content, calorific value, and the volatile method. It can be suggested that under high temperature heating during the sample has been inserted into the oven, the pepper will lose the water content, but plastic seems to be melted only with a lesser amount of water. It might be trapped in the chemical component of the plastic itself. Sawdust has the ability to absorb water, so it is possible to have high moisture content. While the density value has no correlation with the value of the water content. Talking about the calorific value or calor here, calor has been defined as the heat energy that is gained, transmitted from one phase to another phase. The high calorific value denotes a high capacity to store and transmit heat. The highest heat was recorded from the mixture of plastic pepper under the ratio of 3/1. So this one illustrating the highest value from the recorded of the mixture of plastic and waste. As you can see, this one, they have a calorific value about 6,800 something, while the lowest one is found in the calorific value of the mixture sawdust pepper with the ratio of 1/3. So this is the lowest calorific value. It suggests that plastic presents as a combustible material better than sawdust bonded with paper. From the water boiling test, while this test is used to assess the effectiveness of the briquette utilization for cooking energy, several parameters were observed from this test, such as the flame duration, flame color, and the maximum temperature of boiling. So from the table, from the summary in this table, it's shown that the maximum temperature achieved is found in the mixture of the sawdust paper and the plastic paper. But the flame duration is effectively found in the plastic sawdust despite having a lower maximum temperature. So as the conclusion from this study, briquette made from the plastic ingredient has a calorific value greater than the national standard, which stands for 5,000 calor per gram. The water boiling test shows that this solid briquette has a good capacity to increase the temperature, despite being slightly difficult to ignite. The fuel briquettes made of plastic are environmentally beneficial to increase the value of the total heat energy, produce less smoke, and affordable burning fuel for the steam power plant. Recycling plastic waste, sawdust, and paper materials to solid briquette is essential to reduce the waste pile. So I think that's all from my study. I have grabbed all the summaries and the result of my study, and I would like to express my thanks and gratitude to all colleagues for valuable encouragement on this paper completion. I thank previously to Lembaga Penelitian for funding this research and continuously support the article publication.